Hey guys, it's me again, Big Soph, and I'm here to tell you how to build your career music. So first what you want to do is create all your socials, make sure everything is private. The overall strategy for this method is that you are going to make it impossible to find you online and impossible to find your music. So make sure that all your usernames are completely different and unrelated on every single platform. You don't want any cohesion. You want to make sure that everything's different on every single platform so that when people land, they're faced with the question, is this the right profile? If that's how you make people feel when they land on your socials or your DSPs, you're doing it right. So that starts with the socials. Obviously, with music, what you want to do is just make whatever you want. And ship it out. Don't worry about the quality. Don't worry about the runtime. Don't worry about the subject matter. Don't worry about, clearing samples, or don't worry about getting the beat, properly. And when you do that, you want to pick a distributor with the most egregious terms possible, preferably one that is able and legally able to keep all of your royalties. And whoever's got the worst customer service possible, you want to make sure that you choose them. And before you release your music, what you don't want to do is don't register anything, you know, and don't set up a BMI or ASCAP account. Don't have a publishing company so you get the splits. Don't even do the splits. It's a waste of fucking time. Don't include any of the producer information. Don't include any of the instrumentalists on the track. Just do whatever you want. Don't think of anyone else in the process, and just ship it out there into the commercial music industry. And like I said before, you're going to want to make sure that your profiles don't match at all. So make sure that your artist name is something that is either really difficult to find, really difficult to say. The more difficult it is to actually pronounce and find, the better. So just make sure that, again, you're choosing those distributors based off how fucked you're going to get by them. Don't register anything at all, because you're just trying to make a career in music. You're not trying to, you just want to do the music. You don't want to worry about all that other shit. So, and then, going back into the release cycle, make sure you don't have a plan, make sure you don't have a rollout. If you have no audience, even better, you can just throw it out into the void. Don't make any pre-save campaigns, don't use the email list, don't create any content. And definitely don't seek guidance from anybody who's done it before, because everything in the music industry is just a scam, um, because the industry is broken. So if anybody's talking to you about publishing or neighboring rights, metadata splits, mechanicals, recoupment, distribution, lyric upload, don't fucking listen to them. They're just trying to scam you because you're so valuable that they're just trying to get a piece of you, right? So, after you put that song out and it's out in the world, um that your job's done. Don't promote it, don't post about it, don't send it to people, don't text people about it, don't see if anyone will listen to it. Merely just put it out, and then about 6 weeks later, you're going to want to complain on the internet about how no one supports you. You're going to want to really victimize yourself as an artist and act like the entire music industry is out to get you. I think that's something that's a really core value to this overall career strategy. Um, and yeah, I see it work for a lot of people that, work regular jobs and, put out music. So after you've done that, you put out your first song, you haven't posted about it, you haven't done any of the registrations, none of your social profiles match, and it's very difficult to find you. Make sure when you're out networking that you only talk about yourself, you only talk about how great you are and how everyone copies you, and that you are better than everyone else and your peers. Make sure you also highlight how little you've actually accomplished. I think that really creates intrigue when you are out at these networking events, for people to really like wonder, who the fuck is this guy? So that's really helpful. So let's say you're out, you're networking, your song's out, really hard to find you. All you're doing is, tooting your own horn the whole time. While you're networking, make sure you're being really transactional and You're trying to extract as much value as possible. So when you meet people, you don't really want to ask them anything about what they do. You just want to talk about what you're doing and what you're looking for and how they can help you. And then you want to pitch to them in a way that's like, hey, this is why you giving me your time and money is going to benefit you. And the best way to do that is tell them, like, hey, you're going to get so much exposure when I blow up, because that really tells people that, like, you're going to blow up, and they're going to want to be invested in you. They're going to think, hey, this guy's fucking going somewhere. And then they're just going to dump all their money and time into you. And then once they start doing that, you're going to want to consistently question them and then act very, 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 very entitled to their time. I think what really separates the artists who are putting out music that people can find and the artists who are putting out music that people can't find, um, ultimately over the long period of their career, is that entitlement, is that ego. You want to lead with it at all times. You want to make sure you're protecting your ego at all times. You're going to want to make sure that you are gaslighting anyone that tells you otherwise. Make sure you're not open to feedback. Make sure that you also eventually blame your collaborators for anything that goes wrong, because what that shows them is your leadership capabilities as an artist. And if they're not willing to take one for the team, then kick them off the fucking team. Doesn't matter how long they've been there. Doesn't matter if you consider them a friend. Instantly switch up on them and say, hey, it's business, brother, even though you let me sleep in your house. Because again, you want to show that leadership. You want to prove that your ego is important, because who are you if not the image of you portray yourself to be, right? So anyways, you're out, you got the team. Make sure you judge every single business decision by, am I famous yet? So as you're going through your career and people want you to pay for features, are you famous? No, I'm not paying for that. Keep it moving. If people want something from you, act more famous than you are. Act more important than you are. Act more accomplished than you are. Because again, what it's going to do, it's going to project that ego out into the world, and that ego is going to get you everything you deserve in life. I promise. So, what you're going to want to do as you're moving through your career as well, and you start interacting with management and labels, think everything's a scam. Everything's a scam. No one's here to help you. Everyone is a scammer. That's what you need to really hold near and dear to your heart as you're, going through the music industry, because at the end of the day, everyone who works in it is a huge piece of shit, and they're here to take from you because you're God's gift to the world. You are that star. You are the next Michael Jackson, the next Beyonce. And who the fuck are they to not realize that, even though none of your accomplishments have actually proven that to be true? It doesn't matter. You just got to keep pushing with that entitlement and that ego, and you'll get where you want to go. So let's keep going. As you release another song and you're working with people in the realm of cover art, distribution, maybe a manager, make sure you're asking them a bunch of questions that you can't even gauge if the answer is helpful or not. Just ask just to ask, because you want to keep people on their toes. You want to start becoming distrustful of everyone on the team, especially the ones who aren't getting paid. You want to start questioning them and start projecting what you think to be true onto them, because I think that just really creates a good culture in the team. And again, really highlights your ability to be a leader and a strong leader. So when you again, you're going to be putting out more songs, you're going to be dealing with distribution. Make sure you're constantly emailing your distributor and asking them questions you could find in the frequently asked questions part of their site. Make sure you're literally going online and finding the head of the department's email and emailing them directly. If you want to really show that leadership, really, tell people who the fuck they're dealing with, you're going to want to CC their superior as well. And then act like your distributor is a label. Ask them, are you giving me any money? Are you going to give me an advance? And then, so you put out another song. Now, let's say you have a manager. Make sure you treat your manager like shit. Make sure that you ask them to invest their own money into you, because you're going to be famous one day. Don't forget that. Never forget that you're going to be famous one day. And everyone's lucky to work with you. So once you do that, treat your manager like shit. Once you blow up a little bit, just get rid of them. There's no fucking point. You don't need them anymore. Now you blew up. You got more attention. Who needs a fucking manager? You know what to do. You know this industry, right? So go ahead and do that. And then when you start um, accruing fans because someone fucking found you, right? Treat them like shit. Don't respond to their comments. Just try to exploit their wallets whenever possible. Try to get the money out of them. Make sure that you're selling vinyls for like $100, shirts 80, hoodies 150, and just guilt trip your fans into buying it. Make sure you're telling them, hey, I'm gonna be fucking famous and you want to be the first one to know about this shit. Are you stupid? And just essentially just keep breaking them down and, showing your superiority through your ego and your entitlement. And that's gonna carry you a long way. So after you've been putting out music and all this stuff, because you didn't register anything, you actually don't have a lot of back end work to do. So if you get royalty statements, maybe from just your distributor, make sure you never look at them. Don't look at any of the money stuff. It's so fucking boring. Don't pay attention to metadata. Don't pay attention to your registrations. Definitely don't pay attention to Sound Exchange, BMI, ASCAP. Realize that your performing rights organization and your publisher is the exact same thing. That's something that I think a lot of artists forget to do, that they should just think that the industry works in a completely different way than it actually works, because you have to be delusional to succeed. Delulu is the Salulu. So especially when it comes to those back end operation things, what you want to do is just gaslight yourself into thinking that the industry works one way, even though there is so much data and information out there contesting that. You don't want to learn how the money works. It's too much. Trust me. Just keep making fucking music. And then as you continue to do that, just really chase going viral. Just chase going viral. Try to go viral every single reel that you put out, if you eventually put out reels, because somebody should come fucking find you, right? Because you're a star. So if you choose to humbly make reels as a gift to the universe, chase that virality. Just try to go viral every time. Don't tell your story. Don't show up authentically. Just try to go viral. Hit some TikTok dances, ride some trends. Make sure that all the stuff you do has absolutely nothing to do with your personality or music, and just try and hope to hit that virality lotto. And if you do choose to make content, make sure you're not pushing people to an email list. You're not creating a funnel. You're not creating awareness. You want to just essentially tell people like, hey, if you're following me, you're a fucking fan and you should be doing what fans do. So buy my shit. Because remember, you are trying to exploit as much money out of these people as possible. You're not trying to connect with music. You don't give a fuck. You just want the money. So another thing that I think is really helpful in this career strategy is by rebranding all the time. So about every 6 months, you're going to want to rebrand, maybe change your artist name, completely switch genres, because 6 months is a long fucking time, right? So like if something didn't catch on in 6 months, then fuck it. Let's switch the plan up. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to want to change your artist name. Make sure that you are picking fonts and colors that are really offensive to the eye and hard to read. And again, make sure that all your socials are completely different. Matter of fact, don't even switch your socials from your first artist name to the second, because people will know. They know because you're a fucking star, remember? So after that, maybe you rebrand and you feel more successful, and that's great. So what you want to do is then just repeat the cycle there. And eventually, you'll end up exactly where you deserve to be. And this is a strategy that so many artists use, and they must enjoy because they continue to do it for decades. Actually, it's really interesting seeing the consistency in this specific strategy. I think this is probably the most widely adopted music career strategy that I've ever seen. And it spans across genres. It's so interesting to watch. So I hope this helped. I hope this gave you clarity. And if you are currently operating under this strategy, keep going, because it's going to take you where you deserve to land. And if you're interested in other strategies, I do teach strategies in Strategic Artist Society, which not only just teaches you what to be doing, but why you should be doing it, and the entire context of the music industry and the piece that you play in it as an artist. So, like I said, continue putting out those songs under all those different names and different genres. Never register any of your shit. And, as you're building your catalog, give it absolutely no thought. Just do what you want. And good luck. And if this is the strategy you've chosen, you're one of those tough warriors that loves learning things in really experiential ways. So, hats off to you for doubling down and knowing that you know best. And if you want more information on this or any other strategy, go ahead and check out the description. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe, because we are all to the algorithm, but not you, because you don't have to post, because you're a fucking star. So I'll see you next time.